Welcome to my seablock tutorial. My name is Nesp, and here we will go through the starting setup of seablock. So you start seablock on a small island. On this island is a rock, and the rock has a few things in it. You can use this thing to craft a few items. We will craft the things now, and then we will explain what we crafted when we start placing them. So we want to craft 4 electrolyzers, 1 liquefier, 2 flare stacks, an offshore pump, 1 crystallizer, 4 burner ore crushers, and let's do 2 stone furnaces. You don't need to craft any stone pipes or anything else. If you craft too many of these, you can soft lock yourself at the beginning, and then after we're done crafting all these things, we just shift click to craft 200 wood, so that we have a little bit of fuel to start with. The mod pack has given us a bit of landfill to start with, in the form of sand, some wind turbines, some small electric power poles, and some pipes and underground pipes. So we're starting off with the sand to place down a small blueprint so that we can place the wind turbines for power. So a wind turbine is a 2x2 building. So let's place the sand as follows. Let's put a power pole there. Let's put wind turbines here. There we go. And we press Alt and B to create a blueprint. Let's include the tiles as well, not those one. We right click it away. Let's snap to grid with relative, and now we have a placeable blueprint that we can place just like this. Hold shift and just drag your mouse over it, and it first starts placing the landfill, and then it starts placing the wind turbines if you place it again. You can also use the ghost on water blueprint, but I'll do that later. So you see in the meantime my wood is crafting, all the other buildings have been crafted. So let's place down all the wind turbines. We have 120 in total, so this little unit is 8 times 5 times 3 is 120. Let's go down a little bit and let's start creating this part here. So the electrolyzers in this mod are the things that create slag. So we want to create slag and further process it so that we can end up with a chance at ores. So let's create a few buildings like such. Let's press Alt so that we see what we're doing. And then they need power. So let's create a spot here for power. There we go. Let's also start placing these things on our hotbar so we don't have to go to the menu all the time. Let's see. There we go. And let's also place a landfill on here. Here I'm placing the landfill for the underground pipes and the pipes for the output, like such. And let's use an offshore pump here to get some water in. Let's put the stone pipes there and the underground pipes there. Oh. You see that I'm using the bottleneck mod because there's a green light here that indicates that some stuff is crafting. So this process creates slag as well as hydrogen and oxygen. We want to get rid of the hydrogen and oxygen for now. So let's for that use a flare stack. So the flare stack allows us to get rid of these fluids. Sorry, of gases. There we go. So you see that the flare stacks are both working. They don't have to work all the time, as long as they're working some of the time. There's enough capacity in the flare stacks to get rid of all the fluids. Now we have slag. We can crush the slag so that we can get some crushed stone. I control clicked on the buildings and drag my mouse over it to pick it up. So let's start with a design. Let's put 2 of them down so that we can insert on both sides. So the slag goes into a crusher and we put some wood in it to fuel it. So that's why we're crafting wood and still crafting wood. And then we have some crushed stone that comes out of it. The crushed stone goes into a liquefier together with some water, and that creates mineralized water. And then the mineralized water goes into a big building called the crystallizer. It's here. And then you have a chance to create ore. Let's do it like this. I'm leaving a bit of space in between here so that later processes can add on to this as needed. And then let's create some power poles. And also some other things already. So let's keep control clicking and keep placing it here. Let's put these on the hotbar for now so that we know how many we have. Let's put some fuel in these as well. So to recap, we have slag, goes into crushed stone, goes into mineralized water, and that has a chance to create sapphirite ore, which mainly becomes iron ore, and stereotype ore, which mainly becomes copper ore. Let's put these in. Sapphirite goes to this side, stereotype goes to this side. Doesn't really matter that much for now, but later on we can add to this. In the meantime, just keep clicking all these things. And you see now that I picked up the crushed stereotype, the first part of the tutorial has finished. So we go to the next part, which is craft a basic circuit board. And when we have done that, we can start automating a few things. So let's start it. So we have to craft a basic circuit board, and for that we need wood, which we've been collecting so far, and we need copper wire. So copper wire can be created from the crushed stereotype by putting it into a stone furnace. Let's pick it up, let's put it in there. Let's add a bit of fuel to all the parts. I just hover over it and press C. Now we have picked up the copper plate, and now we can craft a basic circuit. We shift click the wood so that it stops crafting, and we shift click it back again. And then we see that we have finished the basic circuit. Now the next part is to create an electromagnetism lab, which is the first lab. So we create that, and then we have the ability to create science packs. But first, let's start automating this part. I see that I need to move these slightly inward. And now we have the ability to create some inserters. So let's do that. And let's pick up the slag one final time. So the inserters can be placed like this. So the crushed stone goes into these, as well as crushed stone from this process, because crushing the sapphirite also creates a little bit of crushed stone. The crystallizer outputs both of these, and the crushers give some sapphirite and stereotype that can be transformed into iron plates and copper plates. Now we just need to automate this final part. Let's see, let's put these on the hotbar. Like such. If you shift and E while you're on top of an inserter, you can use the Bob's Inserters mod, and now you can pick up things from the dash line and put them on where the arrow is. Same thing here, same thing here. You can copy this part, mirror it, there you go, to automatically set all the recipes. Let's for now add some inserters here, just so that this process gets a little bit faster, because right now the output here is clogged up. I think over time 2 inserters is too much, but for now it's nice to get the resources flowing so that we have more stuff down here. So we picked up a bit of iron plate, a bit of copper plate, so we can start crafting science packs. Let's just craft them. In the meantime, I'll start setting up the next part. I'm leaving a little bit of space here for the next parts, but those will be later on. Let's put the science back there. And we can put the science packs in here. First thing we want to craft, now that we have the ability to research, is steam power. Here we go. And then afterwards we want to automate automation, so that we can create assembly machines and also ore crushers that don't require fuel. After that we want to research basic algae processing and wood processing. I'm shift clicking on these to automatically put them in the research queue. Then we want to include washing and landfill, but don't worry, we'll get through these when we get to them. So I'm using the time tools mod. That's in the top left corner, so let's put it to double speed so that's a bit quicker. Let's press C again to go over these. In the meantime, we're still crafting wood whenever we can, because one of the bottlenecks in this game is getting some fuel early game. Let's also craft a few other things while we're waiting. See, the inserters are mostly doing nothing now. Let's see if it's okay if we remove one of them. If we still have enough inserter capacity, then looks like it. If you don't have the time tools mod installed, you can also use this command at the bottom left corner. Maybe change it to 2 or change it to 5 or 1 or whatever you want, so that you can go double speed. Let's insert packs again. And put some boxes in here. So now we have steam power. Let us create a bit of space in between here. So I'm just placing down a place for a crystallizer later on, and then I'm leaving a little bit of space in between so that I know what I'm building and where. So let's say that this one goes away for now. There we go. Just leave a bit of room for spacing. Let's craft 1 boiler, 2 steam engines, same as in the base game, the same ratios. Let's remove that for now, because we can't support it anyway. Actually, let's put it over all the way over there. let's start it here. Now let's leave a bit more space in between. Sorry, I'm thinking as we're going along. So we're leaving a small gap in between. Here we go. And then we put in some steam engines, some pipes, and some power. There we go. And let's put in some wood. Let's put in the side back in there. Let's grab one more boiler so that we can place it down here already. And now we have created researched automation. That's always a nice milestone to have some things going. We can use that to create ore crushers out of burner ore crushers. So they are the same materials, they're a bit quicker, but they don't require fuel, they require electricity. So let's place these down. They also require the burner ore crusher as an ingredient, so I'm just crafting one at a time, placing it down so that I can use the picked up one as an ingredient for the new one. There we go. So now all of these are ore crushers, they're a bit faster and they don't require fuel. So let's see how the power is doing. So we require about 1.5 megawatts and we're producing 1.8 because every wind turbine is 15 kilowatts, so times 120 is 1.8 megawatts. If we zoom out a bit, then we can see it. Here's probably where I cut off the water. Okay. So let's start automating further, because this is an automation game after all. Let's place down some assemblers. Let's create electromagnetic coils from copper plates. Let's create electromagnetic cores from iron plates. Let's combine these together to create the first science pack, the red science. So, there we have it, automated red science. It's not much, but it's there. Let's put in a little bit of iron here. And let's put in all the copper there. In the meantime, this is still chugging along at double speed. And we're researching basic algae processing. In the meantime, I'm just going to start crafting a few things that we need. I think that's it. And then let's take a look at the planner. So what we are crafting right now is a bit of iron plates. So iron plates. Let's see, we're crafting iron plates and copper plates. We're crafting these in stone furnaces. We're using whatever fuel. Let's just put in charcoal for now because we're researching that at the moment. And we're creating iron plates and copper plates at a ratio of 11 to 7, so 55% times 2 versus 70%. So let's put in these ratios and then at a low number, so let's say 0.11 and 0.07. We are crushing these and crushing these, and we're crushing these automatically in an ore crusher. Let's set this as a default and apply it everywhere. Let's also change the preferences of this to have a bit more decimals. There we go, because otherwise this just says 1. But now we know a bit closer how close to the limit of the machines we are. So let's put some stereotypes. We're creating that from mineralized water. We're creating the mineralized water from crushed stone and water. And we're getting crushed stone from slag. And the slag comes from water in the electrolyzers. So this is the process that we have right now. Some electrolyzers into some slag, into plates eventually. You see that I have put in 0.11 and 0.07. Rounds up to 0.08, I guess. And for that we require this whole chain and about 6 electrolyzers. We only have 4 at the moment, so we're not even creating 0.11 plates. So it's a bit of a slow process. So to fix that, we're going to automate power production and then expand to a bigger process. So let's look at the algae farm for now. It's a big building. It's 7 by 7 tiles, and let's place 1, 2, 3 next to each other. Okay, let's place 1 because we only have 1. And the algae farm creates green algae as well as brown algae. Brown algae for now is a byproduct, so we're not really using it, but we have to do something with it until it's useful for us. So let's see. So I've played this part before, so I'm using some designs that I've already created before. That's why I'm going through this part a bit quicker than normal. There we go. So we have green algae. What can we do with it? Let's go through FNEI this time. Let's search. Let's look up green algae. Let's left click it so we can see how we can make it. We can make it by water and then we get these two together, or we can use mineralized water as well as carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide we can create later, and mineralized water we can create here in the liquefier. But for now let's focus on this part. Brown algae we just store in a box. Green algae can be used for compost, but we don't need that yet. For now we just use it as cellulose fiber, which has a fuel value of 1. We can transform the cellulose fiber into wood pellets. We can transform the wood pellets into wood bricks, and then we can transform the wooden bricks into charcoal, which we can use as fuel. And all of these in between steps increase the fuel value a little bit, about 20%. This has been going along. So let's create a little box here, and then let's start working from the output. So 1, 2, 3. So we create green algae and brown algae. The green algae transformed into cellulose fiber, which transforms into wood pellets, which transforms into wooden bricks, which transforms into charcoal. Let's put this one there. Copy paste this. Let's copy paste it again. Let's put this one in there as well. Let's copy paste it one more time here, and let's do those as well already. Put the power in there, there, and there. And then let's place them into a box, also with inserters. Let's pick it up, and let's create a few more algae farms. So this second filter is sort of acting like a filter inserter because it only adds the green algae in here. Okay, so the brown algae will here just keep piling up, and the green algae will get transformed into this process eventually. Let's keep crafting some more wood, And let's add one inserter here so that it's just a tiny bit faster into the box. Wherever possible, I'm trying to use offset inserters so that it only rotates 90 degrees instead of 180, so that it's a bit faster. It saves a bit of power and it increases throughput. There, we've created the first charcoal. And let's also put the charcoal in itself. So we have the pick up position and the drop position at the same spot, so that we can put the fuel into itself. So now we have infinite fuel and charcoal is piling up. So let's put a bit of fuel in here and in here. In the meantime, we're still creating iron plates and copper plates and researching things, but now we're done with researching. So let's take a look at what we've created here. Let's go to Helmut again. Let's add a production line. Let's say we want to create charcoal. Charcoal. We create it in a stone furnace. Let's say we want to create one charcoal for now. We need wooden bricks, wooden pellets, cellulose fiber, which you create from green algae, and green algae comes from this mix process. To create one charcoal, and let's also use the matrix solver so that we can use the fuel that we create here as fuel here. To create one charcoal, we need this entire chain. We only have 3 algae farms, so let's take 3 out of 8. You can also do it like this. There we go. So we have 3 algae farms, and 1 of each assembly machine, and 1 stone furnace, and then we create 0.375 charcoal per second. Is it per second? Probably per minute. Which is about equal to 0.375 times 4 megajoules. So let's use the calculator here. So we're creating about 1.5 megawatts of power. This is consuming 433 in the machines, and then also 1 or 200 for the inserters. So we're gaining about 1 megawatt. We're consuming it a bit faster than that if we need to, because we have more steam engines, and we can also add some steam engines here. So this is acting a little bit like a accumulator. But for now, this is going to just chug along, give us some power. This is about 1 megawatts. This is about 1.8 megawatts. We can handcraft wood to get about 0.5 megawatts whenever we're not crafting anything else. So let's use that power, and let's also keep researching. Let's research basic chemistry, sulfur processing, slag processing, and then also let's do water treatment first and then fluid control. So a little bit ago we researched, what did we research? This one, landfill, together with washing 1 exactly. So with washing, you pick up mud water from the ground, and then you make it progressively cleaner with a washing plant, in which you create a little bit of mud, and you can transform the mud into landfill. And then eventually you'll end up with some saline water, which you can use in a clarifier, which is a new building like the flare stack, which lets you delete fluids from that part. So the flare stack deletes gases, and the clarifier deletes fluids. So let's create 1 floor pump, 5 washing plants, 1 offshore pump, and a clarifier. And let's also do 1 flare stack, 1 assembly machine, and let's do a few inserters, and let's also do a few power poles. So I'm moving pretty quickly, as you can see, because it's double speed, and also I'm starting with a power armor from one of the bots mods. Let's remove a few electroskeletons so that I'm not that fast. Let's leave a bit of space. And let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can probably save a little bit of landfill here by being more sparse, but let's use it anyway. Let's see. One goes there, one goes there. This is a seafloor pump that creates mud water, and this is the offshore pump that you already know, which creates normal water. This is the washing plant. It has some recipes, numbered 1 to 5, and the other recipes, clay, limestone, and sand, we don't really use right now. We can use those later in the game. Let's flip and flip. And then let's put in some water. So this is the recipe. Some water in, some cleaner water goes out, and we create mud. And the first part of this chain also creates hydrogen sulfide gas. So let's for now use a little tank to create here. Let's output the mud. Let's power it up, and let's bring all the mud to the top, because we also need to make this process go further and further. So there are 5 processes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. Oh, there we go. So you just go through the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's add water to all of them, and fluid just goes straight into the next one, so we don't need to leave any spaces for now. For later processes we'll probably want to leave some space so that we can use the water in between, but for now we can just do it like this. Need a few more belts. There we go. Let's copy paste this part. There we go, there we go, there we go. Let's see, you can go there. Then we want to delete the water, the saline water at the end, because the final step creates saline water, and we just want to keep getting rid of that so that we can keep creating mud. So the mud is used to create different kinds of landfill. So you can create dirt, dry dirt, grass, which is also used in the base game, landfill, which is also used in the base game, desert, and sand. They're functionally all the same. I'm using sand because I like the look of it the most. So let's use the trick with the pickup tile again. There we go. Copy paste. And let's output the sand. The sand as landfill in the box. So now we're creating landfill. So how much landfill are we creating? Let's use another mod, max rate calculator. Let's select this whole part. Let's do per second. So we're creating about 0.25 sand per second, but that assumes that it's running full speed. It's not quite running full speed because we're only creating 1.125 mud, and it wants 1.25. So this is 90% of this. We're creating 0.225 landfill per second. So if we were to put that into hell mode, let's take a look. Here we go. Just quickly going through this. So we want to create 0.225, and then we use mud for that. We can create mud with all these processes, so let's just put all of them in. And note that I did matrix solver, because if you compute by element, it sometimes just picks one of these and puts the rest to 0, but with matrix solver it tries to use all of them. So you see, even with the preferences with multiple decimals, we require exactly one of each washing plant and then 0.9 of an assembly machine. So that small little buffer that we're at the beginning is slowly going away. So, and while I was talking, I've created 47 landfill. So this little machine uses up about 600 kilowatts and a little bit for the inserters and for the clarifier, and then it just creates landfill over and over again, and it's tileable, because that's also why I was offsetting this ever so slightly. So if you wanted to, you could put one right next to it, and then you can also reuse the seafloor pump and the offshore pump if you want, if you put this one tile down. Let's keep this chugging along for now. This is still storing the hydrogen sulfide, which we're researching as we speak in sulfur processing. Just need just a little bit of fuel in here and in here. Let's control right click to get a little bit out of it. So we didn't have enough fuel in this one, so now we'll just create a little bit of iron plates quicker. But in the meantime, this whole process has just been chugging along, and all the sapphirite ores that we created that we couldn't really use, they've been stuck in here, and now it's slowly depleting that. So we've researched sulfur processing. So if we go all the way to the bottom of the tree, sulfur processing allows us to create sulfuric acid, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur. So let's start with sulfur for now. I'm using Squeak through, so I'm able to walk through all of this part. Let's see, we're just going to create a temporary setup here. There we go. You can go, you can go. And then we need to create a chemical plant, which you also already know from the base game. There we go. Sulfur requires hydrogen sulfide, which you can create here. Let's put it there. Oh, got destroyed by the autosave there. Let's just do it like this. Maybe when the expansion come out, you can just flip this, but for now we'll do it like this. So every once in a while a bit of oxygen doesn't get destroyed here and goes into here to create some sulfur. So we can just pick it up, and then we can remove this part so it's a bit cleaner. This can just stay here for now. Let's output everything into a box, because we only require this process for a little bit, technically only for one sulfur to get started, but we'll need it for now. Let's see, let's take a look at our other resources. We're running a little bit low on stone, so let's create one more assembly machine, and let's put it there. Assembly machine to create some stone. Stone comes from crushed stone, and let's just put that into a box for now. See, there we go. Need a box. Need some more wood. Always craft wood when you're not doing anything. Let's limit it to 1 stack, because all the stone that we're creating is stuff that isn't going into this process for iron plates and copper plates. In the meantime, this is still chugging along. Science is still crafting. Science is still going. We can't really sustain anything more than this, because I think if we go look at the science for now, let's have a look at how much we need. Let's say we do 0.1 science per second. Yeah, then we need already 0.2 iron plates and 0.1 copper plates, and we're not anywhere near this. So maybe we're closer to this. Yeah, we're probably not even sustaining this. I think we had 0.11 iron plates and 0.07 copper plates if we had 6 electrolyzers of slag, but we only have 4, so we're not even doing this. So we have 0.05 science packs at a maximum. but we also have a little bit of buffer, so maybe we can have maybe we have about 0.1 science packs per second, because we have a little bit of copper in here. There we go. Water treatment is researching a fluid control. So now we have most of the basics. We just want to have something that's a little bit more efficient than this. And that something is mineral sludge. So right now we're creating iron plates out of mineralized water, but we can also use the slag to create slag slurry, and the slag slurry becomes mineral sludge, and the mineral sludge becomes the ores, sapphirite ores and starite ores. So let's take a look at that process. Let's start a new production line. Let's say we also want to create plates. Let's just do these plates for now, and let's say we also want to create 0.11 iron plates. We want to create crushed sapphirite. This is the same process, but this time we want to create it in a crystallizer instead of also in a crystallizer, but then from mineralized water. We want to use mineral sludge instead. We need 4.13 mineral sludge, and as of now we don't know if that's a lot or not, so let's see how we can create this. For now we can create it with slurry charcoal filtering, and later on we can use other processes. Let's not show those for now. Slag slurry is what we saw before, so that's created either from slag or from crushed stone. It's created from 5 slag to 50 or from 20 crushed stone to 50. So if you crush the stone first, it's becoming less efficient. But maybe if you have a lot of crushed stone later on, then you can use that as a byproduct and just create that into slag slurry as well, because transforming crushed stone into slag slurry is still more efficient than creating mineralized water from it. So here you can already see that the 0.11 iron plates now only require 0.42 slag instead of about 1.5 that we saw before. It just needs a little bit more extra. So let's go to a trusty friend, the matrix solver again, because we have some outputs here that we can use as inputs for this part. Let's first look at this part as the input, because we want to solve for all of these. Let's look at purified water, for instance. Purified water can be created in multiple ways. If you show the hidden again, you can create it from water, or you can create it from oxygen and hydrogen, and these are both things that we already have. So let's create that one. So now we need some oxygen and hydrogen, and we already have those at the top here. So we can consider those solved for now. We also need a charcoal filter, which is created from a filter frame and adding a little bit of charcoal. We're creating charcoal at the setup to the left, and filter frames come from the filter frame. So we just need to craft a few filter frames, and then they just keep cycling over and over and over again as long as you keep adding charcoal. And then we need the toughest part, which is sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid comes from combining sulfur dioxide gas with purified water. Purified water we're already creating in the chemical plants. And sulfur dioxide gas is created by combining sulfur with oxygen gas. So that sulfur that we've created in the mud washing at the top can now be used by combining some more oxygen with it. And there we have it. So we just need to add a little bit of sulfur, and then we can create all this part. Then finally, when we research fluid wastewater handling, then we can use this sulfuric wastewater, and then we can create sulfur out of it, as well as a little bit of mineralized water and also purified water. So let's put this all the way at the bottom. There we go. And let's see if we fixed everything properly. Looks like it. So this is our list of all the machines that we need. So let's remove the top two parts so that we can start solving for this one. So let's say we want a little bit of mineral sludge. Let's say we want 75. I think that's a bit too much for now, because if we want to have 75, then we need 7.5 slag per second, and that's a full belt of the basic transfer belts. And I don't think we have enough power to sustain that, because right now it only requires 1.4 megawatts. But when we add this part, it probably shoots up to 50 megawatts. Yeah, there's no way we're sustaining that. So let's halve this. Then we also have a nice even amount, 2 filtration units, let's say 2 liquefiers, and all the other parts are way below 1. So we can just create this part, set it up for 2 filtration units, and then as we scale up we can start putting more slag into it. And then when we exceed this part, maybe we can add a second or third filtration unit and liquefier. And this should be able to sustain all of it. So if we put mineral sludge back to 75, all of these numbers are still below 1. So we still need less than 1 of each machine. So let's start crafting. We will need 1 hydro plant, some liquefiers. We're out of all the stuff, so let's cut the science for now. Pick up some charcoal. Let's dump for inventory. Let's kill this. Yeah, I think the power is still doing fine. We need 1 more chemical plant. I think we can also use this part. Let's put our deconstruction planner in here, and let's delete this entire part, and let's just flare it off. Because right now we have enough sulfur to keep the loop going, and this sulfur that we use here creates more of this stuff here. And we even add up with a little bit more sulfur than we need. Let's put this up just a little bit. There we go. So let's pretend that the slag that we have here will be running on this belt. It goes from left to right here. And then we'll end up somewhere here. Let's leave a little bit of space in between so that we have some room to expand electrolyzers here if we want to. We can also expand the electrolyzers to the left. But let's leave a little bit of room so that we don't mess things up. Let's see. We needed 2 liquefiers. Let's start with 1 for now, because we're not really able to sustain them anyway. And we want to put slag in, as well as the other one. The other one being sulfuric acid. So the other one will go here. And let's drag some power here. And let's do an inserter. Okay, so now we're creating slag slurry. The slag slurry goes into a filtration unit. The filtration unit, well, let's make 1 for now. Let's also make 1 assembly machine. And let's make 10 filter frames. let's just plop down a little bit of landfill. It's not quite as efficient as checking to see how much we need, but it's also a bit quicker, and by the time we've set this up, we've already created 400 already. So, filtration unit has 2 fluid inputs, 2 fluid outputs. Let's put this one there. It's 5 by 5. Let's put one next to it for the charcoal filters. There we go. Let's put you there. And let's pretend that one more goes into there. Let's see. There. And you notice that by now I'm running out of belts, which is quite unfortunate. But luckily we've set up stone here, and we can use that stone together with a stone furnace to just put it all in there with some fuel. So this keeps creating stone bricks, and then we can use the stone bricks to craft some more stone pipes. Let's just create a bunch of them. Let's see how the power is going. Charcoal is still going up. Still seems to be sufficient, but it's getting closer to failure. If it's getting too close, you can always cut off this part for now, so that we don't create a bit of landfill, but I like having excess landfill, so that we can keep going. So let's see. We need one hydro plant, which is also a bit of a big building. There we go. Goes into there, goes into there. In the meantime, fluid control is almost done, so let's put in just a little bit more of iron in there, so that fluid control can be done by the time we're done. Let's see. The hydro plant creates sulfur as well as mineralized water and purified water. The mineralized water we can take out of here, put into here. Let's put it there. Let's leave it there for now. Need a few more inserters. Yeah, and I'm very glad that we put it to double speed, because it's getting close to almost depleting our resources. See, fluid control is done, so that's nice. Let's take a look at what else we needed. We needed a chemical plant for the sulfuric acid, and we needed a liquefier for the sulfur dioxide gas. So one chemical plant. See, we already have one of those. So one for the purified, one for the sulfuric acid. Let's put that one, let's say we'll put it there. And one for purified water. Let's put that at the top. Let's pick that. Let's make it placeable on water. Let's just drag this along until here. Missing anything? Yeah, we're still missing those things. So the top one is oxygen. Let's see. do it like this. So now we're creating purified water, and the purified water goes into the filtration parts here, as well as into this part to create sulfur dioxide. So let's see if we can create a way to put it in there. There we go. As well as from here. There we go. So put it under here. Do it like this. We're out of belts. Undergrounds. There we go. Can probably remove this and this. Yeah, and here we can have a few more electrolyzers if we want. But we could have also build it a little bit closer. But for now, we'll deal with it as it is. See, you go there, you go there, you go there. So we need sulfur dioxide gas, which we create in a liquefier. So let's cancel this one, because we don't need that. Let's put that there for now. Create a box. There we go. So the sulfur comes out here, together with oxygen. And then we just need this part, as well as one underground, and I think it's done. We just need a few more inserters, so we use the same rotating one as well. There we go, there we go, there we go. And then let's add a box, a few more inserters. So let's pretend that the charcoal comes in here, but for now we'll just do it like this. Okay, so this keeps chugging along. It isn't working because we don't have any slag slurry, because we don't have any slag. So let's kill this part. Let's route the slag to there. And from here as well we can route the slag to there. Except we don't have any undergrounds. And we don't have undergrounds research, so that's a nice spot to research it. Let's see, we have enough plates to keep researching this. I think so. Okay. So this keeps chugging along. Needs slag, needs sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid isn't working because we don't have this one, because we never put in the sulfur in here. So we're creating sulfur dioxide gas, transform it into sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid together with slag becomes slag slurry, which becomes mineral sludge. And mineral sludge is what we use to create the ore from now on. So we want mainly the good ore, so the dark blue one. So let's create a crystallizer. And eventually there will also be a crystallizer here. Let's just drag a belt like this. Let's not use underground belts for now because they're more expensive. Let's remove that one for now. There we go. So you see that now we are creating mineral sludge. And mineral sludge becomes sapphirite ore. And sapphirite ore becomes crushed sapphirite. Goes back into the same loop. In a second this process will start jamming, because this part will also create purified water, which doesn't really get output because we didn't put any priority in this whole part. So a while ago we researched fluid handling. It has a few nice valves. So mostly the top-up valve is nice. So the top-up valve allows flow if the output side is below 80%. So we've crafted one. So let's say that we want to use mainly the purified water from this part and only use this part if we need more. Then we can use a top-up valve here. So only if this part is empty, then it starts using it. So that means that it prioritizes recycling this part so that this doesn't jam. Then we're creating a little bit of mineralized water here in this setup. And the mineralized water can go into here. Let's put it here. Let's put it there. See if this is long enough. This is long enough. And let's also transform this into underground so that the pipes aren't mixing. See, what are we missing? We're missing some undergrounds. 1, 2, 3. Let's craft a few more. Let's unjam this one. And let's move that one to there. Let's remove that one because we're not using that anymore. Need a little bit of stone so that we can craft an underground belt. So now we are chugging along. Very nice. So let's take a look at what we've done right now. Power is still going fine. Fine-ish. This is still increasing. Let's also supplement it with a bit of wood. This one keeps going. This doesn't make sense because I'm putting the crushed stone into the crushed stone. So let's remove this one and this one. And let's move this one a tiny bit closer. Let's put it there. There we go. Let's add some fuel to this one again. And now this number should slowly go down. Let's see if it is going down. Let's take a look at the max rate calculator. This uses 9.375 mineral sludge, which is half of what this machine can make, assuming that it runs full time, but it doesn't because we don't have enough slag. So 9.375 becomes 0.375 saphirite ore. That becomes the same number of crushed saphirite ore, so 0.375, and then 0.375 is lower than this number, so we're creating 0.25 iron plates per minute. So we went from 0.11 that we had here with the previous setup to 0.25, so we more than doubled it. It also requires a little bit less power. This is still chugging along. But now it seems that we're creating more mineral sludge that we can consume, so let's fix that by adding one crystallizer on the other side. There we go. Let's remove the wood again. Let's do a few more things. Let's pick up some copper. We want to create mainly iron, so let's do an overflow valve. That is one of the other valves. So if the input side is more than 80%, then the flow continues. So that means that most of the fluid stays in this part up until here. It goes mainly into here, but when this eventually fills up, it goes into here and creates styrotite. So we're creating mostly iron and then a little bit of copper as well. And the byproduct from this, the crushed stone, goes back into this part to create some more stone. See? The mineralized water from here also goes in here You could put in a non-return valve so that if this process eventually fills up, it doesn't backfill up to here, but I think this crystallizer consumes it way faster than both of these processes combined can create it. So let's see what's next. Let's create some more steam engines so that we can start using a bit more power. I'm still not sure if we can sustain it for now, but it's always nice to finish this part. So now we have capacity of 5.4, which was about 1.8 from the turbines and about 1 or so from this process. So now we need to figure out a way to probably create more power. So what we can do is add more algae farms or start looking for a way to create better charcoal. So if you remember the charcoal chain, charcoal comes from wood bricks, from wood pellets, from cellulose fiber, from green algae. You can create it either with this recipe, the first recipe, or with the second recipe from mineralized water and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide can be created from charcoal, so that is also one of those positive feedback loops. So you need a bit of charcoal to get it started, and then you can create more charcoal. So for that we need improved algae processing. So let's research that. Let's research long inserters. And that should be it for now. For now, let's take a break. And in the next episode I'll go on when this research has finished crafting, which is by using that and by using that. I'll set up a few basic circuits, some poles, some of these. I'll set up my bar, and let's keep crafting wood. So in the top right you will see my playtime. So the next episode will start a little bit sooner. Let's first check what's going on here. So this doesn't have enough purified water. So there's not enough purified water. Oh, so one more thing to fix before we go. At the beginning I left a little bit of room in here. So right now all of the oxygen and hydrogen just poofs straight away. But we only want to poof it when there's a lot. So again we use an overflow valve. So if there's more than 80% in the pipes, then it goes into the flare stack, and otherwise it goes into all the other processes. So let me go through here. There we go. So this chemical plant is now running all the time. This part is now running all the time, especially when we put in some more sulfur. And now this keeps running. Now it just needs more slag. So we need more slag, we need more power, and then we can go. We see that we're still mainly creating iron. This may be a problem eventually, so let's change it back to both of them, so that it also creates copper for the science packs. Otherwise we'll maybe end up with only iron and no copper at all, especially because the crushed stone from this part only goes into here. Okay, so let's take a look at our base for now. In the meantime we've also crafted 400 more sand. So this is the base at the start of 2 hours. We've taken our time to improve some of the processes, and now we're going to improve the power creating process by creating better charcoal. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.